What's up, everyone? My name is Alex, and welcome to my little corner of the internet. Let's talk about multigender attraction, attractional labels, orientation terms for multigender people. So there are basic terms, terms that are largely known by the community, gay, bi, poly, pan, omni as well. It's not as commonly used, but it's one of the more basic terms. And I mean, how does a multigender person use those kind of terms? Like, what does gay mean to a multigender person? Any person of any gender can use attractional labels, like if they feel that a term fits them and that it validates their experience, that term is for them. And attractional terms are pretty much the same. So how can you use terms like gay or bi or pan? Like, what does that mean when you have multiple genders? When you say gay, when somebody says I'm gay, the most common thought is that it is someone who experiences exclusive attraction to the same gender. But the definition has been expanded a little bit. It means the same and similar gender. So a multigender person could easily be gay. And maybe they do experience attraction towards more than one gender, but still feel that gay fits them. Bisexual is the same thing. The most common term is attraction to your own gender and others. So if you're multigender, maybe it means attraction to other multigender people and others. Or maybe it means, like, sometimes you're a man, sometimes you're non-binary, sometimes you don't have a gender based on, having more than one gender. Some days you experience a gender more than others. So you could say, like, I experience attraction to other men plus other genders, my own gender and others. So that's how bisexual or bi in general can fit. Poly just means multiple. If you're polyromantic, you are attracted to more than one gender, and it's kind of a broad term. It's like saying polygender. Like, it doesn't encompass a super specific experience. It's just multiple genders, and a lot of different attractional types fall under polygender. So polygender, like, that just means being attracted to more than one gender. And it doesn't necessarily mean that it's attraction to solely other genders than your own or the same genders as your own. It's probably a mixed bag. Pan, which is, every gender. So multigender people can definitely use the word pan to describe their own attraction. Like that. Pretty much any term like that can fit. The term lesbian, that's a queer attraction to women, and there are plenty of multigender people who have attraction to women and call themselves lesbian. They can either just say they're lesbian, or sometimes there's pan lesbians, there's bi lesbians. It just depends on how that person views their own gender and how that fits in with their attraction, because a lot of attractional terms are based on, like, what your own gender is. So maybe, like, sometimes they're a woman, or sometimes they're feminine aligned or female aligned, and they have a queer attraction to other women. You can be any gender and experience a queer attraction to women. So that's the, I guess, the more commonly or the more recently understood definition of lesbian. So basic attractional terms can fit pretty much anyone of any gender. Even completely genderless people can experience gender-loving gender attractional labels. There are labels that are kind of exclusive to multigender people. They have multigender people in mind. There is the Juvelic terms of attraction, the Juvelic system, and it is based, the whole system is basically based on like gemstones and jewels. So someone who is Opalian, that's someone who is non-binary and a man who is attracted to other men and non-binary people, which is what I had kind of considered myself until I realized the word gay actually fits me, because it's my same genders and similar genders. So I'm attracted to men and non-binary people, non-binary men particularly, under that, and like other like neutroi people as well, and basically like anyone with a similar kind of identity like that, like people with a male related gender, a male aligned gender, like that's like that's what I am attracted to. Sort of counterpart to that word is Iridium. It's someone who is a woman and non-binary who is attracted to other women and non-binary people. So kind of the opposite of what I am. I don't like to think of man and woman as opposites, but I think it's more of a counterpart. I think that's probably a better way to describe it. They're very similar in that it's blank binary term, attracted to other people who are binary and non-binary. There's Amberian, named after Amber. It is it's basically gay, but with multigender people in mind. It's still part of the Juvelic system, so it's someone who is non-binary, attracted to non-binary people, and at the same time a woman attracted to women and a man attracted to men. So someone who has multiple genders, that like pretty much gay all across the board. There is Toric, which is non-binary, attracted to men. There's trixic, which is non-binary, attracted to women. It is not multigender exclusive, but it does have multigender people. It kind of it includes multigender people. What a multigender person uses to describe their attraction is entirely up to them based on preference of labels. I wouldn't call an orientation preference. That's like outdated language, like your sexual preference, your romantic preference. Like that is not what preference means in this regard. Preference of labels. So if you prefer to use the word gay to describe your attraction, then by all means do that. If you want to use the word trixic or toric to describe your attraction, you could also use that, or the Juvelic system of terms. So that's pretty much it for attractional terms for multigender people, or at least touching on how multigender people can experience attraction. Multigender people can experience attraction that is fluid or fluctuating in the same way that sometimes they might experience gender that is fluid or fluctuates. Multigender people can have a completely static identity, static genders, or static attraction, like a non-changing or non-shifting form of attraction. And there's really no term that multigender people are not allowed to use. Like they can absolutely use terms like gay and lesbian to describe their attraction, or they can use micro labels that more specifically describe their genders and what genders they are attracted to, based on how they experience those genders. Sometimes you're genderless, and that means that maybe you experience attraction to other genderless people. Or maybe some days you're a man and you experience attraction to other men. I mean, the multigender experience has so many different aspects to it, and there's so many different ways to experience being multigender. It can be a very complex identity with so many little pieces that come together to make that identity. That's kind of it for the series, at least for now. I did not touch on attractional terms under my Malehood 101 series, but there are similar videos that I did for Malehood 101 talking about how someone can be a non-binary man or a genderless man, talking about presentation and transitioning, talking about pronouns and the usage of pronouns to reflect a male identity or a male gendered experience. So similar to the Multigender 101 series, if you're interested, like, go check that out. And that might be it for this series. I think I covered at least the basics. I don't know if I'll do another 101 series, but I'll let you know. Anyway, I am signing off for now. See you later.